I know everybody's already tired of hearing people's opinion about Kevin Samuels. I feel like I want to say something about Kevin Samuels and stuff. And he accomplished the his huge following and the amount of money he was making. So let's give him props for that. And it also exposed a type of following. And I would say this: his message, of course, was harsh. You know, it was kind of combative, especially towards women, also towards men. I've heard him being very combative towards men, and his general message was, really for shallow people, shallow men and shallow women, and that's about 85% of society. Let's call it the gods. They'll call it the dumb, deaf, and blind. 85%. 10%, of course, are the evil. People are just born evil. 50 Cent or Hillary Clinton. You know what I'm saying? They just got, it gets them. That's just who they are, right? And then you got the 5% the gods, or righteous people. And I would say interchanges. Sometimes 85%, some people at 85% will gain enlightenment and be part of the 5. Sometimes the 5% will be corrupted, be part of the 85 or the 10. Sometimes the 10, so or the 85% become part of the 10, get corrupted, get their soul corrupted. And for you atheists, when I mean soul, I mean your character. I mean your bravery, your loyalty, your honesty, your integrity. That is, let's call that the physical representation of your inner soul. And science, I've heard from Professor Dave. You should check his especially for you flat earthers. You should definitely check out Professor Dave. He breaks down meticulously the sciences that debunk flat earth theory, meticulously, and go after the globe busters. But he was saying how science, the definition of science, is the observation and the measurement of the physical matter and physical world. So a soul is not part of science because you can't measure it. It's not physical. It's not matter. It's not a physical object. So, but you can measure and you kind of can measure integrity and stuff like that. That's a bust ass nigga, or that nigga rapperable. You know what I mean? That's high integrity. That's probably why you hear so many gangsters say, "Oh, God was with me that night." You know what I'm saying? God was with me. Or something like that. But the corruption and everything. But I think Kevin Samuels' message was mostly for the 85% people that's shallow. Like, if a woman wants a high value man, then she has to be young and fit and submissive and just playing a part. Whether it's like stuff like that. Like submissive stuff like that is earned. Like, any woman will love to submit to a man or a husband if he proves himself worthy of submission. No woman is going to submit to a man that doesn't prove himself worthy of submission. Now, for black women, yeah, it's kind of hard because we got some their version of alpha male, or sometimes black men that's fucking nuts. And, what I'm saying, they go off the rails and they spend 20 years in prison, and the woman's like, oh, maybe that was a little too alpha. Maybe I needed, what I'm saying, maybe I needed some, what I'm saying, that was alpha in coding and technology, or alpha in, making money legally, you know what I'm saying, rather than somebody that was just a hot boy or something like that. But a lot of these things get influenced, the Hollywood, the music industry, the media, now social media, but also the media itself. They all promote, what, black women need in a relationship, or what's more popular, or what's more sexy. They make street life look sexy, but the reality of it is, the reality of street life is Skid Row, Inglewood Cemetery, you know, or Soledad Penitentiary. That's reality. That's just the reality of it. That's the statistics. That's the, out of 100 gangsters, you got 10 of them that's currently working at 50. You know what I mean? At 55. Like, stopped all that shit and got them a good job, And that was help from Obama and Trump. They both had the Prison Reform Act, which someone could come out of jail, not be on parole, and they could get a state, city, county, you know what I'm saying? One of those jobs. Now, they probably doing that because they know our money is depreciating. So a good job 20 years ago is damn near a McDonald's job. This is the equivalent of a McDonald's job 20 years ago. Oh man, not like that, but the manager of McDonald's. But so his message was, it was basically shallow. Kevin Samuel's message was basically shallow. And I was listening to a live stream, Lennon Honor. I like that dude. He'd be calling out certain scammers. And Lennon Honor, some lady called up and was like, they talk about high value, but they don't talk about high values. And that's what I'm talking about, your soul, your character. Who are you? Are you a stand-up type? Do you fold under pressure? Who are you for? That's part of your soul. That's part of your character. Do you fold under pressure? Nobody's going to respect that if you do fold under pressure, and definitely not a woman, because she needs you to be her rock. However emotional she gets, she needs you to be like, I know he's going to be, I know he's going to handle it. I know he's going to be there. I know he's going to support. I know he's going to, you know what I mean? So, plus the compatibility and everything like that. You got to woo a woman, not like this, like Fresh and Fit. They'll just ramble statistics and stuff. Good evening, ma'am. How are you? I'm doing well. I'm 6'3". I make over 250,000, and you know what I'm saying. And I got abs, and only 3% of males have that. So you need to get with me because I'm your best option. Female be like, what a weirdo. Shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear that shit. You know what I mean? Like, man, no, it's just no spontaneity, no, no excitement, no, no flair, no, you know what I'm saying? No running off of game. It's just like, damn, hey, I got statistics here, this, you need to get with me. Yeah, she don't get with you to use you because you haven't established any type of why she should respect you. But that was his message. Like, look, if you're not 20 to 28 with no kids, I mean, if you're not 20 to 28, if you have kids, if you're not fit, then if you're not a homemaker, then you're getting less and less on this dating market and stuff like that. And and it's like also for men, if you're not high value, if you're not earning over 100,000 and or something like that, then you're not high value. And it could be a man out there that's working that's making 250,000, but he's working 70 hours a week. And he want to get with a female. Now, they don't have no time together. And we all know that females enjoy spending time with you, so, is that just because you make the money doesn't mean it's the right fit. This doesn't mean that, you're what she's looking for. Doesn't mean, you know what I mean? So that's what I mean by shallow, or 85% of society galvanized towards that message, being it either right or wrong, and he, he's kind of getting arrogant. I didn't like how he spoke to females, because that's just not how you speak to females, and I don't understand why. His interview with Future, his interview with Rihanna, what's her name? Rihanna, I forgot her name. Breonna Taylor, I want to say. No. Anyway. Breonna Reiner, he was kind of, like, I don't know, stargazing, but he was kind of like mellow. But when it comes to a female calling in, then he's, I'm like, come on, dude, you talk to another man like that. You don't talk to, that's not a man. So, what I'm saying? You got to learn how to speak to a woman. That's everything. Communicating to a woman is everything. A lot of his followers will say, oh, women need to choose better, right? They say that. But see, the men that women are choosing are the men that makes them feel comfortable. The men that knows how to speak to a woman. That's who they're choosing. So instead of getting mad at the women for mischoosing, why aren't you learning how to speak to women? Because it's not like speaking to a man. Speaking to a woman is not like speaking to a child. A woman are their own human being, personality, half of our human species that's different from us. There's a big debate about are men and women equal? Are they different? How are they different? There's a big debate about that with the trans gender community. There's big debates about it, and for one thing, the difference is you can't speak to a woman like you speak to a man. That's just how it is. You just can't. They're not acceptable to that. They're a woman. You gotta appreciate their beauty and their faults. You gotta appreciate it, because you're not that. Because you don't. Now, if you have female traits, they'll pick it up, and they you know what I'm saying. You gotta learn how to be masculine. They respect that. They respect masculine men. You hear them all the time. You hear women all the time. It's funny. It's like that David Chappelle joke. Michael Jackson, is an upstanding man. And the senator asks, would you leave your children with Michael Jackson? And David Chappelle's like, fuck no. Oh, man. I think that's the same for women in general, and specifically black women. They talk about gays. Oh, yeah, get out the closet and live your truth, and I have no problem with that. Would you date one? Well, there's no more. Oh, man. If he was just curious and say, you know what, let me try with a female. I've been trying with men all this time. Let me date a female. And you used to do what? Oh, no. Most women. I ain't gonna say all, most women. So I guess his message, I guess his message is you have to play a certain part or look a certain part in order to get chosen. But that is the bare minimum of a relationship, how people physically look. Getting to know a person. Are you compatible with a person? Some people got levels of kindness, levels of meanness, people got levels to this. It's not like, it's not ordinary. People got levels to their soul, their integrity, their courage, their loyalty, their commitment. People have levels, and you have to understand it. You can't just be like, what is your integrity level? What is your what do you bring to the table? I was like, come on, you don't supposed to even ask that. You're supposed to engage her in a conversation to make her comfortable. And through that conversation, you're supposed to be listening so she could indirectly give you answers to your questions. So what he was talking, Kevin Samuels, what he was talking about was bare minimum. It's the bare minimum of what a relationship really is. And that's why we have so many divorces, because we're getting somebody, like what's the name? Washington? What's that dude's name that married Brianna Rayner? Or Kanye and Kim Kardashian. How did their relationship break up? Will Smith and Jada Pinkett, their relationship is on the rocks. There's rumors about divorce and stuff like that. I doubt it, but I know Will want to fight for it. Fight the divorce, but like I'm saying, it's like we have to get to know each other, men and women, individuals. And if someone's not your preference, someone's just not your preference, And this whole thing of preference is it's underrated, because women, for women it's harder to get their preference. And listen, women, when I say this, it's harder for you to get your preference because you may see a guy that is your preference and he may want to smash, and you thinking he likes you, but he just want to smash, and you think it's you're his preference. Y'all maybe even girlfriend and boyfriend, and now you're in love. You got your preference, and you're so in love, and you don't really know that if you're his preference, he may just be dating you, for now, and a lot of times, okay, and a lot of times, females like, I'm with my preference, I want a baby bio, because I'm so in love, or because he's so much of my preference, and then that's when the shit hits the fan, where, oh, you got caught cheating. Oh, you got caught cheating again. And you wonder, like, why this nigga cheating? Because to you, you're his he's your preference, but you haven't really sussed out if he's your preference. If you're his preference. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot harder for women. And high value men or men that's making a lot with a lot of time as well on their hands, a lot of time and money on their hands, you're picking out your preference. You're picking out. And then you get upset when she want to divorce you and take half your money, and then you realize that wasn't like that, like Dr. Dre, But she had like 3 kids by him. So, she was, I guess, to me, she was willing to make it work. It was just, he be part of that swinging club. Tupac brought that out. I don't know if it's true or not. I've never heard that. I've heard that about Will Smith, but I've never heard that about Dr. Dre. That was the first. Or the accusations about Eazy-E. I was like, what? I've never heard, the accusations about Eazy-E or Dr. Dre and stuff. So, but that, for Dre, that was his preference. And you see how that fell apart, And if your preference is someone young and fit, and you get with someone young and fit, and you're a high value man, and you have a little side piece that's young and fit, and the side piece breaks the rules, or your wife gets older and not as fit, then what you do? What do you do? You dump her for the side piece, and then you wonder why she gonna want alimony in the house and the, you know what I'm saying? Like, you betrayed me, so boom, I'm gonna hurt you. I'm gonna hurt you financially. That, a woman scored. A woman's hell has no fury like a woman scorned. You know what I'm saying? They fight. The women are fighters, and they don't have to fight you with their fists. And men don't get that. Men think that because a woman can't fight with her fist, that she's helpless. No, she's a human being. Human beings are dangerous. We are the most dangerous animals on this planet. So that was another thing about his message about, oh, she could take half, and have a prenup and this and that. Well, y'all got to understand what a woman is. A woman is a human being, and human beings are more dangerous than lions. You put an AR in a woman's that been trained in military. You put an AR in her hands and see who gonna win against that lion. It's going to be no contest. You put a lion, tiger, bear, and another human. It's going to be no contest. It's going to be no contest. If that human had an AR, then it gets interesting. But until then, women are human beings, and human beings in general. I know men are very vicious, dangerous creatures. I know that for a fact. So women are human beings too. They are vicious, dangerous creatures. Period. Both of us. We're also phenomenal, beautiful. But we're all the other stuff too. I'm not trying to damn it, but you shouldn't underestimate a human. I would not underestimate. I don't, and I will not underestimate a human. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace, King Von. He underestimated the game. He was a king. He was hitman in his city. He was an assassin in his city. But he tried to take it elsewhere, like Atlanta, and Atlanta is very dangerous. We thinking the way his reputation is, the way his street reputation is, the way he raps, everybody think he invincible. And he underestimated the situation, and new beefs and stuff like that. Instead of focusing on getting the money, because if he came out with 5 other albums, I got all his albums. If he came out with 5 more, I'd have got those 5 more too. You know what I'm saying? He had a customer for at least a good 6-7 years. You know what I'm saying? He had a customer. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm not the only one. It's probably hundreds of thousands of people thinking the same way. So I don't underestimate human beings. I would not underestimate a woman. My job is not to make her scorn. My job is to make her feel at home, make her feel comfortable, make her feel loved, make her feel respected, and provide and make her feel protected. And those were the points. I never heard from Kevin Samuels, so I never was kind of like a fan of him. May he rest in peace. I know a lot of y'all think he's the Godfather. My prayers go out to him and his family, and for people who didn't like Kevin Samuels, we all got our time. So that's why it's not wise to poke the dead. It's not wise to speak ill of the dead, because we all have our date. We all have it. So, and whatever energy you put out, it's gonna come back when you're gone. I know people gonna be like, well, you're gone. Who cares? Now, this is on a side note. Reincarnation. I know it don't exist. It's pseudoscience. Yeah, I get it. But people say about old souls and stuff like that. So, a lot of times it spits out to the family. So if his daughter is pregnant currently right now, that could be a manifestation of him, or reincarnation of him. It's funny how that be happening. It happens sometimes. It happens in families where an elder would die and months later a child will be born, and stuff like that. I don't know. I'm just throwing that into the atmosphere. So when you look at your families, when some of your elders die and a baby comes months later, that's closely blood related, you know what I'm saying? Take that into mind. People say, oh, she has an old soul or she's been here before. So that's kind of interesting to me about stuff like that. That's very interesting. All right, I'm gone. That's my take on Kevin Samuels. We need to treat each other right. We're not 85% of us. We're subjected to Hollywood, the media, and the music industry's form of brainwash, which is black is bad and white is good, and black and white. Wait. No, I'm sorry. White is good and black is bad, and black and white is still too bad. Or if you light, you all right. If you brown, stick around. If you black, stay back. That is America's mantra. They want to continue that. They want to continue that. Call it that mono that that they want to continue that slogan. That's just how it is. If let's say the media, and I was talking about even before TV, like the newspapers, the lectures, the whole thing about blacks being inferior, and it's like, even if you prove your superiority, you get killed. Keeping the motto of, blacks are inferior, even before the TV, but that whole like movement of blacks are subservient and blacks are, second class citizens, through the media, the movies, Hollywood, sports, through the music industry, through all that. If they brainwash a whole country, then that means they indoctrinated black people as well. So we're up under a gun where we see ourselves as less than, and we feel it. And because we see it and feel it, we interact with each other and talk bad and talk down to each other about it. You can call it the Willie Lynch, even though Willie Lynch never existed. In the West Indies, there was never no one on record about a Willie Lynch. You call it whatever. What I'm talking about today, how is the mechanisms today? You notice that gangster rap is a form of art, and no one talks about what's happening in Chicago or LA or Baltimore or DC or Philly or Jacksonville, Florida or Dallas, Texas. Or you notice how that's just moot. There's no talk about it. Now, I'm not saying ban gangster rap, but why is conscious rap banned? Why is conscious rap banned? And not, why is that banned? Where's the artistic expression on that? You know what I'm saying? X-Clan made the album two years ago. No one heard about it. It wasn't no top producers. All you need is the top producers, and anything is hot and popping. That's all you need. But why isn't the top producers producing conscious rap? It don't sell as much. That's not true. Public Enemy's biggest sellers was white people. If you could sell Public Enemy to white people, I don't know. You're doing something big. You're doing something big. Why are they listening to gangster rap? That's the only thing that rap can provide. You see how many people Kanye West is following Kanye West? You see how much money Kanye West makes on his albums, and he's not a gangster rapper. Or Drake, and he's not a gangster rapper. So don't tell me that, oh, you got to sell because you're a gangster rapper. No, you can't tell me that, because some of the two tops MCs that there's like, you know what I'm saying, on Tip Top are non-gangster rappers. You know, Drake he be throwing a little, he be having some reputable people in, like Lil Durk and Lil Baby, and you know what I'm saying, he be throwing some people in there, Meek Mill, so he be having that edge to him. But at the same time, he's not, and Kanye's not, you know, and Kanye be really speaking out of his heart and speaking the truth. But the music sells, not necessarily the lyrics. The music sells. The music, and put the music good with the hook, you know, that sells. So I'm not saying necessarily ban gangster rap, but why stop conscious rap from happening? You know what I mean? You got J. Cole, but Jay Electronica of J. Cole, he's part of Def Jam, but Jay Electronica, you don't hear shit from him. He probably still touring. You don't hear shit from him. They grabbed him to bury him. You know what I'm saying? That don't make sense. That don't make sense at all. So, you know, that is today, which is influencing black people to not like each other, you know, and going hard in the yard about each other. You know, it's just not fair. It's not fair. So we have to understand that we are being psychologically attacked. And my proof of that, or my evidence of that, is 1954 Brown versus Educational Board with the baby doll test. And they did a baby doll test in 54, and most of the positive attributes these black children were saying was coming from white dolls. CNN did another test recently, and same conclusions. They did a test in France, same conclusions. So what could manipulate the consciousness of the planet if not the media, music industry, and Hollywood? All three are worldwide. Think about that. All right, I'm gone on that. I know it was about Kevin Samuels. I know I went far left. Forgive me. But his points, and no offense to the brother, is basically shallow, and it's foundational. It's not a real basis for a relationship. You really got to understand that woman. You really got to fall in love. You really got to make her feel like she's the one. If you're a young man dating, you know, I know a lot of people don't want to be in the friend zone because they thinking, you know, they want to smash or not. And I would say the ancient scriptures, aka the Dead Sea Scrolls, aka the 22,000 tablets, aka the Book of the Dead, aka the coming forth by day and the coming forth by night, aka the Bible, was trying to tell people that we are mammals, we are animals. So we are naturally attracted, we're naturally will naturally galvanize towards lust and greed and gluttony and fear and anger, and you know what I'm saying. So the Bible is saying, look, you got all these animalistic behaviors, and the only way you could get godlike, the only way you become supernatural, the only way you could build your character, for all you atheists, to build your character, is you learn self-discipline. With self-discipline, you can achieve everything. Six-pack, 250,000 a year, 250,000 a month, 250,000 a week with self-discipline. You know, finding the girl of your dreams. You know what I'm saying? Finding a great wife, you know, with discipline, with controlling yourself, self-control. With self-control, you could accomplish so many things. That's the faith. That's the, if you ask the Lord, you'll have it. Before you will have it, you know. I forgot that. That's not exactly how that verse goes. But so the Bible is trying to tell us it's very important that we have self-control, because we either control ourselves or ourselves is going to control us, meaning our addictions is going to control us, meaning our thinking with our little heads, thinking with our hearts, thinking instead of thinking with our discipline, you know, thinking with our disciplined mind, you know, so we're just going to go off. So that's why the Bible talks badly about fornication. That's why the Bible talks badly about alcoholism. That's why the Bible was talking about homosexuality, because the goal isn't to pleasure yourself all day. The goal is to be in your purpose and reproduce. And the best way you could be in your purpose and reproduce is if you get married to the opposite sex and focus on your true calling. So this is no disrespect to homosexuals. I'm not without sin either. But Meek Mill said, follow your dreams or follow your addictions. I would say follow your dreams or follow your sins. And I would say in that ancient scripture book I refer to, your sins are, for you atheists, the sins, you could translate that to your addictions. I'm gone, man. I'm throwing up too much game, baby. I'm gone. I'm gone. Peace.